Okay, in this video I'll show you how easy it is to edit an activity. And in this case we'll edit a simple single column activity and we'll add an extra column. So if you remember in the previous video we created this simple activity 7 times table. You can see it's only got one column, it's just got the one colour bar across the bottom. So rather than launching it, we'll click to edit it, and so you can see the activity. We called it 7 times table and we just typed a single column with the 7 times table followed by a question mark. So we want to add an extra column with the answer to each of these sums. So we slide across and then you can see we get this extra column which we can now edit. So I'm going to the first one and type 7 and then 14 and then 21. And I'll show you another slightly quicker way to do things. If you remember in the previous video, we've got our second column there. Rather than going down clicking through each one, we pasted the information in. Now rather than pasting it, we'll use this same import data button and we want to add some data to column 2, and I'll just type in. So rather than having to go to the next one, I can just go through quickly, type in each of the answers, and there we go. So it's going to add an extra 9 items to my list, so when I click done, we've got them in there. So again, that's just another way to do it. Even if you haven't got data ready to paste, just by going into that import you can just type it straight out, and it saves you going using these arrows. If you're a slightly more advanced user, you might want to do that. Anyway, so we've now got our 7 times table with our 2 columns of data, first column with the sum, second column with the answer. So now if I preview it, as we did in the previous video with word magnets, I can still scatter the sums around the screen, but I can also flip them over to reveal the answer. So already this is a much more useful activity. Okay, so we'll save it with the second column. We'll keep everything the same file name, the same tags, just click save. Save successful. So now when we return to the database, you can see we've got our activity 7 times table, but it now indicates that there's 2 columns. So rather than just having the single yellow bar it had previously, we've now got the 2 columns. So I can click and I could launch it with word magnets, as was already seen. We could open it with the spinner. So I could ask students to come and spin the spinner and answer 3 times 7 in this case. And we can click to reveal the answer, 21, check whether they were correct or not. We could also launch it with one of the quiz type activities, so we could launch it with bingo. So the students would create a bingo card with 6 squares and write any 6 of these numbers on their card. And so now we can have a little game of bingo based around the 7 times table. So if a student had the answer to 10 times 7 on their bingo card, they could cross it off. If they had the answer to 11 times 7, and so we'd go until someone was ready to shout bingo. We could also open it with the pairs activity. So again, this is just the same list, but I'm opening it with lots of different with different resources. So in this case, we'd have to match the 2 pairs. So I'd have to find the answer to 9 times 7, which I found in this case. So then I would click if I think it's a pair. Go, I'll get 3 points. So you can see all the different ways in which I can launch this simple activity. Okay, in the next video I'll show you how we'll go about making a true or false type activity. Thank you.